Well, thank you both for coming in today. From what I understand from speaking with both of you previously, one of the first issues that we need to address is who has the children win, what we refer to as the timeshare. So what we want to talk about today is what makes most sense based on the needs of your children and your schedules, your flexibility or lack thereof in your work schedules, and how we can come up with something that's practical and meet your children's needs both in the short term and in the long term. So would one of you like to start with what you're looking for and what you think would work best as far as when each of you has the children? Glenn, Stephanie?
Well, I think they need to spend their weekday nights at my house so that they can get their homework done and have a consistent place.
Okay. Oftentimes there is a certain transition, or sometimes just a very direct flash cut, depending on how things happen, with the different timetables once one person moves out. So I always work with the understanding that we're starting from scratch here. We need to look at what's happened in the past and use that, but I also try to work with people to not make assumptions that what has happened in the past is what's going to happen in the future, because it's a very different circumstance. Are both of you okay with that approach? Mm-hmm. Both of you about your work schedules. Since you started last time, do you mind if I start with Glenn? Glenn, tell me a little bit about the structure of your work, the number of hours you work, your flexibility, that kind of thing.
Well, I have a pretty demanding schedule. My clients take a lot of my time. Now that I've been spending more time with the kids, I've tried to structure it a little more. But I work hard during the week, and having the kids spend most of the nights of the week with Stephanie, that's okay with me. I just like, 1 or 2 nights to, keep in touch with them during the week so that I've got time with them, and it's not just being a weekend dad or something like that.
Okay. Because what we're going to be doing here is building the typical structure. Of course, there's going to be deviations or things that come up, emergencies, etc., that we'll need to build a structure for, and we will. We'll have a flow chart that talks about the scheduled parent, the parent that was normally scheduled during that time, the parent, and whether the other parent would be willing to take over if there's an emergency. And then we'll also talk about what I call approved caregivers. These are people that both of you are comfortable with taking care of the children if an emergency comes up or something happens with your schedule.
I mean, partly depends on the kids' schedules too, because I know they've got after-school activities now, and we probably should take a look at that and make sure that I can pick them up during the nights that I'm going to have them.
Right.
But this also doesn't have to be set in stone for the next 13 years, since you've got a 5-year-old. And we want some flexibility, but we also want consistency within that. I generally try to work with people on at least an every other yearly basis, and oftentimes a yearly basis, so that we have a proactive meeting. We get together, we talk about what's working, what's not working, what we need to change in the parenting plan, and also kind of air any of the issues that have come up during that time frame. So that instead of things exploding at 6 o'clock on a weeknight when either of you have had a long day and things don't just go well in the transition with the children, we get a chance to proactively address those issues. So that's something we'll talk about more down the road.
That's a really good idea, don't you think so?
That makes sense to me.
Now let's talk about what makes sense now. One of the things that was really important to you was the consistency and minimizing the transitions with the children. So were there certain nights, certain midweek nights that you think it'd be good for them to be with you?
Are we doing, can I just ask first, are we doing like every other weekend, or had we talked about that?
We haven't addressed that yet.
Because then that might make a difference on what days during the week.
Okay.
Would that make a difference to you? I mean,
yeah, I think that makes sense.
What days are lighter work days for you? I think I'd rather work like early in the week. So I don't know if you could take earlier in the week, or is that hard for you?
I was thinking midweek, because then, if I had them on the weekends, then it wouldn't be as many days in between.
It would break it up.
We could do the week. Maybe we could do the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then one of us take Monday, Tuesday, one of us take Wednesday, Thursday. That way it's the same every week.
Okay. And that's a plan that a lot of people find works well. One parent has Mondays and Tuesday nights consistently. The other parent has Wednesday and Thursday night consistently. And then the weekend includes Friday. If you're going out of town or if there's something going on, oftentimes it can be helpful to have the children starting from when they get out of school on Friday. So you started this by asking, are we going to alternate weekends? Would that be your preference?
That
Are
would
you
be my
comfortable with that?
preference
Okay.
if Glenn could take 2 days during the week.
That's fine with me. I'm sure there are going to be some times when Stephanie won't be able to take the
Certainly.
kids too, and hopefully I'll be able to arrange my schedule so that I can spend time with them.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the best balance I've seen between maximizing the time that you each get to spend with the children and also not creating a burden on one party if the other party has a lot of emergencies or, their schedule is changing a lot.
Okay.
Okay. So I just want to confirm the agreement we have here because we basically came up with the timeshare in a very short period. And the timeshare is one of the most significant elements of the parenting plan. So what I'm understanding is that on Monday and Tuesday nights they're going to be with you, Stephanie. Wednesday and Thursday nights are going to be with you, Glenn. And weekends are going to consist of Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. So starting whenever they get out of school on Friday, and you're going to alternate weekends. Great. Well, there's a lot of other things that we're going to work through as far as the parenting plan. A lot of the exceptions, talking about holidays, birthdays, special days, how we deal with summer vacation, spring break. There's a lot of other things that we're going to deal with to round out the parenting plan and come up with a comprehensive parenting plan. But the two of you have just achieved what is the lion's share of the parenting plan, and that is the typical day-to-day schedule. So that's a great job. And I think what we'll do is at our next session, we'll move into the
What
details.
if this arrangement doesn't work out? Are we stuck with this?
Well, let's talk about that. What I would say is, since we're beginning mediation, that we start this plan now and see how it works out over the next month or two as we're working through the other issues such as support and division of property. And then we'll kind of have a test run, if you will, to see how it's working out. And if it is working out, great. We stick with what we have. If it's not working out, we address the issues and see what we're doing.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
I think so. Mhm.
Okay. Glenn, do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, that's fine with me. Let's see how it works and, try to make it work. If we need some adjustments later, we'll talk about it then.
Parenting
Why
is,
worry about failure at the beginning?
parenting is messy and things are always changing, especially with a 5 and a 10-year-old. They're going to be going through different developmental stages. They're going to be going through different activities. And that's why we have the yearly review. And we try to keep up to date on what's going on, deal with any issues as they come up. But right now, we've got a great plan, I think, that both of you are comfortable with. And we'll see how it works out. Okay? Thank you very much.
Yep.
Great job today.
Thank you.